Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Ingram is finally showing why he drew comparisons to Kevin Durant coming out of college, coming out of Duke. Uh, to be honest with you, Brandon Ingram is coming into his own. Like I stated before, he's one of the top young players in the game today. He's been one of the top young players in the game for a few years now, the past couple of years. But I guess since he plays in New Orleans, he's going over a lot of people's heads. I guess if this was going on in Los Angeles, he would be at the forefront like some of the other stars that we have in the league today. Um, Nonetheless, man, Brandon Ingram coming out of college, let's be real, he was a problem. It garnered him the #2 overall pick, in the draft. Brandon Ingram coming out of Duke, the kid averaged 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists, shooting 44% from the field and 40% from the three. Damn near 70% from the free throw line. So you clearly seen the potential of a scorer, a bona fide scorer, coming out of college, so it's no accident where you see what he's doing now at the NBA level, going off for monster numbers, putting his team on his back, being the undoubtable leader of this basketball team, leading them, to the postseason through a tumultuous situation that the New Orleans Pelicans was in. Let's be real, nobody counted the Pelicans in at all this season. They looked at them as a laughing stock, as a joke. But give credit to Brandon Ingram for galvanizing the troops and putting them on their back. Let's be real. Kevin Durant out of Texas, the man was a goddamn phenom. He was the #2 overall pick as well. The man put up 25 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist, shooting 47% from the field, 40% from three. So you seen right there, like as you can see, the numbers are a lot different. Kevin Durant damn near being 7 foot, grabbing 11 rebounds, going up for more points. I think that there was more compared, obviously, for body structure, just being tall and lanky. You understand? So obviously that drew the comparisons. But Brandon Ingram being in Los Angeles, he had to go through his ups and downs. It didn't really click right away, but he eventually got it. Him playing with LeBron James, you almost seen that Brandon Ingram wanted to like burst out of his own guy, be his own man. And New Orleans who gave him that opportunity to showcase it. New Orleans has been a godsend for him, being traded here, believe it or not. I think deep down, this place in New Orleans, he's blossoming. He's able to come into his own. I'm not sure if he would have had this much responsibility in Los Angeles playing for the Lakers, because as you can see, LeBron James took that completely over. Brandon Ingram is coming off a good season this year, really a monster season. He averaged 22 points per game. He shot 46% from the field, 32% from three, 5 of 5, rebounds and assists, and then leading the team. What I want to say is, like, in between the lines, Brandon Ingram is showing a lot of comparisons to Kevin Durant. Just able to just walk into 3-point shots, with no defense being able to account for him. There's no defense for Brandon Ingram. He breaks any defense down. Nobody can contain him. Nobody can guard him. He's shaking, he's begging, turn around left. I mean, it's just filthy how Brandon Ingram is just manipulating the defense. You understand? It's crazy. And it's like he's getting better and better and better every year. You understand? So it's almost like, what's next for Brandon Ingram? What is he going to incorporate this season, to further, what's going on? I would like to know what's your thoughts. Is Brandon Ingram, bringing back the thoughts on why he was compared to Kevin Durant? I'm just be honest with you. He's more of a poor man's Kevin Durant, and there's no shame to be that. Kevin Durant in his prime, when he was really undoubtedly the man, pre-Achilles, you understand? Listen, it was a monster, so to be a poor man's prime Kevin Durant is no shame in your game, so this is going to be an interesting year for the New Orleans Pelicans. you know, because Brandon Ingram has a great team, you know, alongside him now. You know, the Pelicans can go very far in the Western Conference, man. I think they can figure this thing out because they have a Brandon Ingram, a guy who is undoubtedly unguardable. You know, teams will have their hands full trying to deal with this guy, Brandon Ingram. You know, he's a true force, man. So Kevin Durant, he just was a monster this year. Damn near averaged 30 points per game, shot 51% from the field. I'm not sure if Brandon Ingram will ever shoot 51% from the field, you know. But the man did shoot 46%, you know, this season, you know. So who knows what could happen, you know. I don't know if Brandon Ingram can go upwards of 50% from the field, but I can tell you this: he's capable of closing all of these gaps, you know, to match similar to what Kevin Durant is doing. You know, as he is a prolific of a scorer as Kevin Durant, I don't think anybody is as much as a prolific scorer as Kevin Durant. Is very far and few in between. But to be a poor man's version of that talent, you understand? Like I stated before, that's not bad at all. You know, the Pelicans are in good hands, you understand? And Brandon Ingram, mind you, he's a very young player. We got to remember this. He's 24 years old, you know, from Kingston, North Carolina. You know, the heart of a lion, 6'8", which I really think he's like 6'9", 6'10", around 6'11", to be real with you. You know, he got a 7'3" wingspan, you understand? So that's probably what drew a lot of comparisons to Kevin Durant. You know, the wingspan is crazy. Kevin Durant has a 7'5" wingspan. You understand? Both were number 2 overall picks, you understand, respectively, in their drafts. You know, Brandon Ingram obviously being drafted in 2016, and you already know Kevin Durant drafted back in 2007. So I think a large part of this is just like the body structure, just like the wingspan and the size. But Kevin Durant is obviously a more prolific scorer and offensive player than Brandon Ingram. But like I stated before, Brandon Ingram is a poor man's version of Kevin Durant, and there's no shame in that. But bottom line is, what I want to tell you is Brandon Ingram is finally showing why he drew comparisons to Kevin Durant. You know, Brandon Ingram, I'm telling you, these stars know they can't deal with this kid. You know, people could try to deny him all they want. They know they can't deal with Brandon Ingram. You know, so if they want to put all of these DeJounte Murrays, you know, Tatum's, the list goes on, Trae Young, you know, Chris Middleton, if you want to put all of these players ahead of Brandon Ingram, you know, you're sorely mistaking yourself. The Bam Adebayos of the world, you know, you better make sure you put Brandon Ingram's name when you're discussing the top young players, because a lot of these guys that are being featured, they couldn't hold a candle to Brandon Ingram. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's Flight Sports TV. Y'all better be on the lookout for them Pelicans, man, because they're going to be a force on the back of my man Brandon Ingram. It's Flight Sports. We out of here.